Hey everyone, welcome back. So, have you ever wished that, podcasting could be way easier?
Easier, how so?
Well, imagine if you had an AI assistant that was, like, way more than just a transcription tool, you know? Like, what if it could help you actually shape your episodes or even craft new ones in your style?
Wild.
Right.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's called Custom GPT, and it's blowing my mind. Basically, it's this whole new thing in AI that's, laser focused on podcasting.
So not just your average chatbot then.
No way. This is next level stuff.
Okay.
And lucky for us, we've got this research, tauchen sie ein in die Welt der Audio KI 3.pdf to help us break it all down.
Sounds dense.
A little, but trust me, it's worth it. Okay, so first things first, what does Custom GPT actually do?
From what I'm gathering, it's like having a whole toolbox of features specifically for podcasters. Hit me with it.
Okay, so imagine never having to transcribe another episode again. Ever. Custom GPT can do that for you automatically.
Okay, that alone would be a game changer. Time saver for sure.
Right. Especially for anyone using podcasts for research or teaching. But get this, it gets even better. This document suggests Custom GPT can help with actually drafting scripts and even whole episodes based on your style.
Hold on, seriously, how is that even possible?
That's what I thought. But apparently you feed Custom GPT your past episodes and it learns your voice, your pacing, even your sense of humor.
Wow, that's both impressive and a little creepy.
I know, right? But for podcasters in super niche fields, this could be huge. Imagine giving Custom GPT a crazy, complex concept and getting back a draft that already sounds like you.
Instead of staring at a blank page, you've got a starting point. I like it.
Right. But hold on, because it's not just about the words, it's also about how those words sound, you know? And Custom GPT has that covered too.
Oh, you mean audio quality? Yeah, that's huge for podcasting.
Exactly. And apparently, Custom GPT can clean up background noise, those annoying mouth clicks, all that stuff. It's like having an AI sound engineer working magic behind the scenes.
Okay, now that's just showing off. So we've got AI that can transcribe, generate content, and polish the audio. Anything else I should know about?
Oh, just this one tiny thing. It might also revolutionize how we interact with listeners. We're talking personalized listener interaction in real time, powered by AI.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah, imagine a listener tuning in, asks a question, and bam, they get a response right then and there, all thanks to Custom GPT.
That would be wild, like having a conversation with your audience in the middle of an episode. But if this AI is analyzing podcasts on that level, what about listener privacy?
That's a great question, and one I was wondering about too. The document emphasizes transparency and user consent, meaning listeners have control over their data.
That's good to hear. Personalized experiences shouldn't come at the expense of privacy. Okay, so we've got AI that transcribes, generates content, polishes audio, and interacts with listeners. This Custom GPT thing is a lot. How does something this complex even get built?
That's what I'm wondering. This research gets into the development process, and honestly, it's fascinating. Okay, so this Custom GPT thing for podcasting, it sounds super impressive, but how do we get from, this cool concept to an actual tool that, people can actually use? This document you shared, tauchen sie ein in die Welt der Audio KI 3.pdf, talks about the development, and it's way more than just feeding a computer a bunch of podcasts.
Oh, yeah, way more. It's not as simple as just saying, okay, computer, go make a podcast, haha.
Yeah, no kidding. So what's the deal then? What makes Custom GPT different?
Well, it's not just, borrowing from those AI models designed for text, like the chatbots and stuff. Custom GPT is being built, specifically for audio, and that requires a totally different way of thinking.
So, are we talking special microphones, recording the sound of algorithms? Okay, I'm kidding, but you get what I mean.
I get you, haha, but it's not quite that Hollywood. What is really key here, and this research really highlights this, is the data, the training data. See, Custom GPT, it's not just learning from transcripts. It's being trained on massive, and I mean massive data sets of actual podcast audio.
So it's actually like listening to podcasts, just like we are.
Kinda, yeah, you could say that, but it's not just passively listening, Custom GPT is picking up on all those things that get lost in a transcript.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Well, the subtle changes in tone, those pauses, or how we speed up and slow down for emphasis. All the stuff that makes spoken language so different from written.
Wow, so it's like teaching a machine to understand all the stuff we just naturally get as humans when we're listening.
Exactly. And get this, This document suggests that custom GPT can even understand the intent behind our words. So it's not just recognizing the words, it's understanding why we are using those specific words.
Okay, wait, now that's just wild. It's like it can read between the lines.
In a way, yeah. And for podcasters, this is huge. Custom GPT isn't trying to copy human speech. It's trying to get the goal behind what's being said, Like, are you trying to make a point, make someone laugh, tell a story? Custom GPT wants to get that and then use it.
So it's like having an AI co-host that understands you, like on a deeper level. That's both amazing and a little creepy. But how does it even learn to do that? Someone has to, like, program it, right?
You would think, right. It is complex, but that's where machine learning comes in.
Okay, so I hear machine learning everywhere now. But what does that actually mean in this context?
So think of it like this. Instead of just being a piece of software that stays the same, custom GPT is constantly learning and changing. It's evolving. Each piece of audio it analyzes, every interaction, it uses those to learn and get better.
So the more data it gets, the smarter it gets.
Exactly. It's like an AI co-host that's constantly learning and getting better at its job over time.
Okay, that is both really cool and kind of scary. Like, if this thing is always learning, who knows what it could do in the future?
Right. Like, we are just scratching the surface here. But, with any new tech, especially something this, like, powerful, it's important to think about the good and the bad, the possibilities and the challenges. And this document, it actually addresses that.
Which I'm glad about, because I have a ton of questions. For example, how do we make sure that something created by custom GPT is actually good? Like, how do we know it's as good as something a human could make?
That is the question, right? And, what about the ethics of using AI in podcasting? There's a lot to unpack there.
Okay, so we've, like, dipped our toes into the custom GPT pool here. And I got to say, I'm excited about the possibilities, but also a little, apprehensive. How do we make sure we're using this tech responsibly? Like, podcasts are special because of the human element, right?
Totally. And this research actually emphasizes that balance. Custom GPT should be a tool for podcasters, not a replacement. It's about collaboration.
So instead of custom GPT taking over, it's more like AI and humans teaming up.
Exactly. Like, imagine using custom GPT to get that first draft done, handle the structure, the basic research. Then you, the human, can come in and do what you do best, add your own voice, those personal touches, the passion.
Makes sense. It's like having an assistant who takes care of the boring stuff so you can focus on the good stuff. But what about quality, though? How do we know that something made by custom GPT is, like, actually good, up to the standards of what humans create?
Well, it comes down to, like, human oversight. This document talks about how important that is, like developers working with podcasters to continuously refine the technology.
So even after custom GPT is out there, it's not just like, see ya, good luck. It's an ongoing process of making it better.
Yeah, totally. User feedback will be huge here. Podcasters using the tool can say, hey, this works, this doesn't, and help shape the tech.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Because as much as I love the idea of AI making my life easier, I don't want to lose what makes podcasting so special.
And that's what I appreciate about this research. It doesn't shy away from those tough questions. It's not just about like, ooh, shiny AI. It's about, okay, but what about the impact?
Right. So speaking of impact, let's talk about the good stuff. Like, what has you excited about the future of podcasting in the age of custom GPT?
Oh man, so many things. But one that I think is super cool is accessibility. Like, imagine if language barriers were a thing of the past. Custom GPT could do real-time translation, so anyone could understand any podcast, no matter what language it's in.
Wait, seriously? That would be incredible. It'd be like a universal translator for podcasts.
Right. It would be huge for connecting with people across cultures, breaking down those barriers. And even beyond just like word-for-word translation, custom GPT could even adapt the delivery, to better resonate with listeners from different backgrounds.
Okay, now that is next-level stuff. It's like personalized translation on steroids.
Exactly. And this research also talks about interactive storytelling. So not just listening to a podcast, but actually like shaping the narrative as it unfolds.
Whoa, hold on. Like choosing your own adventure, but for your ears.
Exactly. Imagine listening and then being able to like make a choice that changes what happens next, or like ask the host a question and get an answer right there in the moment.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown. See, that's the stuff that gets me pumped about the future of podcasting.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that get me pumped, what about hyper-personalized content? That's got to be a game changer, right?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you open your podcast app and boom, it's like the algorithm actually gets you. The recommendations are so on point. It's like having a personal podcast DJ who knows exactly what you want to hear.
No more endless scrolling. No more, well, I guess I'll listen to this random thing. It would know your taste so well. It'd be like it was made just for you.
Exactly. It could completely change how we find and connect with podcasts we love, which, at the end of the day, is what it's all about, right?
It really is. Yeah. And the coolest part is we're just getting started. Like, who knows what amazing things custom GPT will be able to do as it learns and grows. It's like we're standing on the edge of something huge, and it's both exciting and, like, a little intimidating, you know?
Totally. And I think the biggest takeaway from all this is that the future of podcasting, it's not just up to the tech. It's up to us, the listeners and creators, to use these tools in a way that, like, brings us together, sparks conversations, and helps us connect with the stories that matter.
So well said. It's about using this technology to make podcasting even better than it already is, which is saying something. So, to all you listeners out there, keep your ears open and your minds curious, because things are about to get really interesting in the world of podcasting. And hey, maybe AI will even help us come up with a better sign-off than that. Until next time.